Hello everybody, how are we? My name is Unicorn Pondu. Welcome back to another video. Chantal went live for Eid and was live for 3 hours, so if I skip something, I am so sorry, but no. So celebrating it alone for 3 hours straight. So let's see what Chantal has to say today, shall we?
Let me just fix myself, because... Tuck my chin? Okay.
Okay, and we are already out of breath.
ECP, I look different, I have makeup on. It's so bad when I don't wear makeup that people think I'm very ill.
It's because you are, ma'am.
Or I'm going through some kind of, like, super horrible life change.
I mean, just as a refresher, this is what she looked like yesterday.
What? Is that my... Ow! Oh, shoot. I thought that was my undercap. Because look, it's the same color. Crapola. Okay, hold on. Thank you for letting me know about my... Hold on. Is that hair or undercap? Okay, there's the undercap. I had to pull it out. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm hot. No. You know, I was thinking of going out, like taking you guys out, but we're gonna have to wait till Eid is over because... especially in the evening, guys. Eid is, like, very busy. So... But, we had some people over for tea. Salah and I had a nice dinner together. And then, we had some mansaf. And then, yeah, this is one of my favorite abayas. I haven't worn it in a while, so I'm like... But, so yeah, we had some tea. Hero, hello. Honestly, like, we just kind of worked something out because I don't feel like making a big dinner and everything. So, tomorrow Salah's going to take me out for lunch. So Eid is like today, it's like a 3-day holiday basically here.
I don't know, she's acting weird. Very weird.
I ordered an iced coffee and a sweet treat.
Perfect, exactly what a diabetic needs.
We had mansaf. Life by Chantal. Listen, I'm not even going to be pissed at the Life by Jen reference, but what I am pissed at, and there's no excuse for this, okay? Thanks, one called Joe. There's no excuse. Chantal, how long have I been on the internet? How long has my real name been doxed? Or I've said it, whatever. It's Chantal.
I mean, half the time you don't want to refer to Beck as the right pronoun, so boo-hoo.
Red lipstick rage. No, Terry, sorry.
I don't know too much about this live, but there might be a few things here and there. I don't know.
Can you travel the Middle East? Yeah, I got to get myself right a little bit before, but yes, Stephanie, I would love to. What places in the Middle East specifically, Stephanie? Because technically I am in the Middle East. But like, you mean like what country would you like to go to specifically? I would like to go to Syria. And no, I'm not afraid at all. I would like to go to Jordan, Bahrain.
Why is she soothing herself and rocking back and forth? It's weird.
Egypt, yeah, Morocco. But like people, it's like, I forget, like Morocco, Algeria, Northern African Arab countries, they're not considered the Middle East, right? They're North Africa. I don't know. I don't know, tell you, I guess maybe just because Salah's from there and, you know, he has my heart, and so also I'd love to see where he's from, his home. It makes me sad that there's so many people suffering there. But yeah, it's not like I'm going to be able to go. They wouldn't probably let me in there. Okay, I just have to use the bathroom and I'll get the order and I'll be right back. Yes! Plastic straws. Mocha. I got a treat. Don't worry, after Eid, we're going to be going strict. Too many like sweets and lunches and things. Ooh. Hopefully there's no... I don't think there's any holidays in between. The second Eid al-Adha, is in June, so... We have a choco butternut donut. And I got 2 of the same one. One for me, one for Salah. I got an eclair. Bavarian lotus cream eclair. And I'm making shisha. Everything bad for me, I know.
Hey, enjoy.
Alright. Beauty bite. Where's the cream?
Oh, I love that for her so much.
That's chocolate. I don't know if it's... What is that? It's like a... See? What happens if I don't use the pin? Hold on. Let's just take it off. I looked pretty for you. Now, let's be comfortable. This is Biscoff cookie crumble. I like the smell of donuts. Oh. Hi, plain cheese!
The only moaning going on in that apartment. Oops, sorry about that. I know it was bad. That's really bad. Sorry.
The creamy stuff ended early. Oh. What a ripoff.
Love that for her the most.
Like traditionally, they go and spend a ton of money getting all dressed up and nice, depending, I guess, how rich you are. Buying gold and stuff like that, new clothes. Having gatherings, having tea, sweets, dinner.
Here you are 3 hours straight alone ordering Dunkin' Donuts.
I guess going out to malls and cafes, so it's going to be super busy, so no thanks. Let's talk about it. They go all out. We're just peasants, so we just do small things. Where's the cream? That's getting clipped.
Fine, but honestly, it wasn't that funny.
So he was born in Kuwait, but he's Syrian. I don't know how else to explain that. And he has family in Syria that he's visited. When you're born in Kuwait, like his blood, his DNA, Syrian. Where you're born in doesn't make you what you are, you know? I hope that clears it up. Am I relieved? No, not relieved. You know? No, Kuwait doesn't have birthright citizenship like the US, exactly. Yeah, he's a Syrian, yes, he's, yeah, I guess citizen, but he has a residency here. Exactly. You'll never be, unless you're Kuwaiti, you'll never have a citizenship, no matter where you're from. Even me, like, you know, it's good, but not like, I wouldn't buy it again. This is, oh, what I love. I can't quit you. Didn't you say you were going to stop explaining yourself to everyone? Probably. A million times.
She does it anyway because she has no other form of content.
I got this one. I don't know what this is, like chocolate, what is it called? Butternut? And then another Biscoff one.
Do I think any of those are for him? No. Do I think he's out and about doing stuff for Eid? Yes.
No, he's never lived in Syria. I have to have shisha with this coffee, okay? I can't waste it.
No, you don't have to. You choose to.
I really want to do a health journey.
Right after ordering Dunkin' Donuts.
Isn't it lonely? No, not when you like being alone. I have my husband. Why would I be lonely? You know, I have my husband. We have some, well, it's mostly like his friends, but like, still, we have people in our lives that we don't put on camera ever. Yeah, exactly. Like some people like, you know, if I want to go out, I'll go out. I'm free to do whatever I want, basically. You know, tomorrow we're going to go out for lunch. Salah wants to take me for lunch. I'm like, okay. I went through that pocket knife, like that whole thing of wanting to go back to my country many times. And then that's why I would go back to Canada so often, you know? But then when I'm there, I get like depressed.
Personally think it's paranoia that he's going to be cheating again. So what does she do? She runs back to Kuwait.
And feel like that's not my home anymore. Like right now, anyway, you know? It's because like home is, my family is like Salah and my cat. Like it's a small family, but that's like my family. And that's just like when I'm not with them, I feel really sad and, you know, but I do miss my Canadian family, but nobody yelled shut up. If they yelled shut up, it was outside and they were yelling at someone else because number one, there's no way.
Again, she is the one that told us someone was yelling at her.
Hey, clear focus. Someone just said, someone just yelled at us.
No. I was like...
Anyone outside would hear the keyboard. 2, our neighbors would never do that. The walls are very thick here. It's very quiet.
Not thick enough to hide a baby crying, though?
Yeah, someday we'll visit Canada. Someday. It's not as easy. I have a Canadian passport. I can pretty much go anywhere in the world I want to. And I feel like passport privilege is a thing. Yep. What is the number 1 passport? What is it, like Singapore or like Italy or something? Oh, France! I don't know, he's never said he wants to go to France. Singapore, he's not been to Canada, no. Syrian passport is very limited. Yep, that's just the reality of it. Very. One of the worst.
Wouldn't that be enough motive for him to, I don't know, try to marry someone abroad to try to get a better passport? But
there's still countries like you can go with a Syrian passport. And it's easier to go places if you have Syrian passport and residency here. Places like Thailand. It is unfair. I agree. Frankfurt, Germany, Moscow, Tokyo. Nothing against those countries, but those seem like cold countries. Do you know what I mean? Where like people wouldn't be as, like if you're going to travel alone to those countries, I could see it being, have you ever seen the movie Lost in Translation? It's like a thing, you know? Yeah, the Soviet countries, they just seem very, like I wouldn't want to travel alone there. Tokyo is a city. Oh yes, Japan, yeah. Yeah, I had to stop in Germany, and I have to say, I can't judge the country based on just the airport, but the airport was just, and their airline is just awful. Maybe because I'm spoiled with, like, I'm telling you, but like the Gulf country hospitality, if you guys come to like Kuwait, Qatar, you're like Dubai, like you're just not going to want to You're gonna feel like spoiled. You're not gonna want to ever, especially if you're like a woman. I know it's like it's what contrary to what people believe, but like Munich, where did I go? Oh, at the Frankfurt airport. They were just not nice. Anytime I asked for anything or like asked them questions or on the plane, they were crabby and I got food poisoning. I don't know. I didn't like it. But I've never been in the country to explore, so I can't say anything about that. I'm from Ontario, I love Canada, but would be interested in the Middle East. Yeah, it's really, you have to come here to experience it, you know? If you come to places like if you go to Egypt, and I'm not being derogatory, okay? It's like there's a lot of culture, history, beautiful country, but you're probably, don't travel there as a woman by yourself. You're going to be harassed. There are a lot of people who like beggars, and there's like scammers. There's like nice people obviously too, but you're not going to get that if you come to like a Gulf country. You're not going to get anyone harassing you. Like they're just so much safer. If you want to travel alone, if you want to travel like and not be harassed by like people always trying to sell you something, always approaching you with something like, hey, do you want to ride this camel, blah blah blah. You don't get that here, like at all. Like that's what I like, you know. I've never been to Egypt. Salah has. He has some friends there too, but we want to go, but I don't think the summer is the best time. It's going to be too hot. They're poor and desperate for money. Yeah, that's true. That Nostune right there, that's the difference. Like these are rich countries. But even a lot of the expats are not wealthy, but they don't bug you, you know? Maybe because it's like, I don't know if it's against the law. But you're right. Like, if we go to Egypt, we're not going to be like, oh, get away from me, scammer. Like, we're going to go there knowing it's also very cheap. We're going to have a certain amount of money to give to people and help people out. I think a lot of them, not all of them are scammers. I think a lot of them are just trying to make like a buck, you know? No, pocket knife. I'm not going on a visa run. Apparently, I've already gone, so. Oh, did anyone say where I've been on my visa run? I don't know.
Don't remember. I don't know. That's interesting. You said that you weren't on one.
Run? I don't know. I think that's my cap. Oh yeah. I can't see if that's my cap or my hair. It's like the same color. What the frig? Yeah, like I'm half blind, but
Her eyesight was okay. Maybe she means without her glasses.
I'll tuck it in more. He wants to take me out for lunch tomorrow, but I don't know if I want to go. I don't know why I have anxiety, like I don't know.
Yeah, I thought your husband was taking you out tomorrow. He said that he wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going through a specific bout of anxiety. I don't know why. I'm 41. I can't believe that. And then one day you find 10 years I've got behind you. That song is so true.
My God, I have to agree, because what do you mean my age now starts with a 3 at the beginning of it? That's not real. It is, but that's not real. I refuse.
That's what Salah says. Age is just a number, babe. You can still get healthier, and you'll reverse some aging.
Let me get some oven mitts, and then I will hold both of your hands and tell you, you have done irreversible damage to your body.
I hear people yelling. They yelled, "Shut up."
Oh my God, you're the one that told us that!
Even if someone did yell, "Shut up," do you think we care? Like,
You caring about anyone or anything other than yourself? No.
but no, they didn't. Yeah, I know. I need to find a bunch of things. I need to change my whole life. That's why it's hard. 10 years? Is he 31 or 32? I thought we were 9 years apart.
Been married to this man for almost 3 years, and she has absolutely no idea how old he is.
94.
Born in 93.
I struggle with like the motivation, but no, because I'm married. So hygiene is like really big in Arabic culture. Like if I even like have hair on my arms, it grosses him out. So I have to be very meticulous with.
According to all straight men out there, women have body hair. Shocker, I know.
Hygiene. My feet, even he's like, you know, he really wants me to go to a spa, but I try my best to do what I can, you know. No, I do it myself. Why are people so... I noticed in Gore World, I don't know if it's because like a lot of reactors, they just don't have anything else interesting to... They just don't have like any intellectual interest in anything else. But they obsess over like... Amber Lynn, like they obsess over her bathroom habits. They'll have like entire live streams over and over about who wipes her ass.
Hey, are you Amber? Why do you care? Hate each other until it benefits them in some way, somehow.
Her period care. Like, what does any of that have to do with a story? Do you know what I mean? It's so effing weird. There's one reactor, like, who's obsessed with that. He looks like a fat Pauly Shore. Do you know who I'm talking about? It's so dumb. Even for me. I usually just shave, but I should wax, yeah.
Talk about this and be like, why is everyone talking about my bathing habits? You're talking about it, hence why we have comments about it.
Number one, in my fucking opinion...
Oh, here we go. Knew she was gonna crack at some point.
If you are a man, you don't have a right to talk about women's periods and their body. So F all the way off with that, all right? Like, you're disgusting. And I don't care if you're gay or not. You don't have a right to talk about women like that. Like, it pisses me off. Like, right? Am I, like, I don't know. My husband has preferences, Kenny. It's a culture thing. But he doesn't talk disgustingly about my body. He doesn't talk about, he doesn't dismiss if I have issues.
Go ahead and cheat on you, though.
Like, I think they were, like, dismissing her going to the ER for period pain. Like,
The main word there is the word if. No, I have a really gut feeling it's when Amber went to the ER because, of that big issue that she had on Snapchat that she was posting about. The reason why she went is because she didn't go to OBGYN for a very, very long time for some issues. So wanted to add in the majority of the reason why Chantal talks about Amber so much. What does she need? Money.
you don't have a uterus. You don't have the right to talk about women's periods or how they, like, bleed or what they do. Like, mind your business. Like, get a life. It's so gross. I can't listen to that crap, man.
I'll say in general, I will agree. I will say, wasn't Amber the one that told us everything that was going on about that?
I heard someone, like, reacting to it briefly, and I'm like, I'm tuning out. Like, this is just bad.
Oh there, cowgirl. I thought that you didn't watch reactors.
I had a uterus, Jinger, you dumbass. Like, I had one. Hysterectomy shaming, real nice. Yeah, that's nice. You're an awesome person, Jinger. He's just after money. Yeah. Yeah, right, Tangi? Like, that's true, tell you, yeah. Colette, they all do that. Reactors, certain reactors.
I was about to say, all of us? No.
You can't have kids. You don't have a uterus. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. They're all vile. I'm used to it. Like, women shouldn't tell women what to do with their bodies, and culture's no excuse. I don't have to, I guess, Like, I don't know. But it's a preference. I tell him to do certain things with his shaving, too. Like, he has to manscape. Not just me. Sexual hygiene is different. Completely different. Like, 100%.
And overall general hygiene also be included in that, though?
No, Larry. They have to be clean in a lot of ways, too. They're disgusting for bringing that up. They are, yeah. But it's their karma. A lot of women have hysterectomies for an array of reasons. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So. But it doesn't change the fact that I was born with a uterus. And I've bled from it for many years, So, I don't know. You're like a forested manscape. No, certain places of the body, I love hair. Like chest, beard. But certain places, no.
A leaked photo, did not have a lot of hair on it. That's all I'm going to be saying on that.
Yeah, exactly. Muslims need to shave down their own armpits. Google it, yeah. That's what Salah was talking about. He was wanting to buy me a... Yeah, they have women's shavers here, but I don't know if it works as well as shaving with, like, a razor.
Hey, not sponsored, but if you guys want the best, and I mean the best electric trimmer, it's not a razor per se, but as someone that has very sensitive skin and is very prone to nicking very easily, if you guys want the best of both worlds, Norelco One Blade, you are welcome.
It's all about preference, Yeah, you're not supposed to pluck your eyebrows as a Muslim woman. A lot of women do. Plus size Muslims, is it difficult to shave? I know you guys would love to know, wouldn't you? It's funny how React channels say you can't talk about children because you don't have any, but following that theory, they are not Muslim, so they can't speak on it. Exactly. It's ridiculous that you have to have children to talk about parenting. Like, when it's obvious... Like, that just doesn't make any sense. If you see, like, somebody being abused... I'm not saying that anyone's abusing their children, but, like, if I say, like, go take your kid to the park because, like, something like that,
You could not mention them at all. That could also be an option, but no, Chantal has to go for the lowest of blows because she has nothing else.
They follow it up with, well, you babies, blah, 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 you had a hysterectomy, like, whatever. It's so... I don't even care at this point what they say. Go for it. Like, whatever. It's not going to change. I'm not going to stop voicing my opinion, so, Like, all I ever said, I find it very disturbing that an adult parent who's responsible for the morality of a small child, impressionable child, has a child running around in the home and they're reading all day and being fat phobic and talking about how someone wipes their ass, blah, 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 just and swearing and talking all kinds of disgusting things. That to me is just like...
But remember, she doesn't care, right?
I would be hella embarrassed if my mom, like, I would, like, have a huge complex if I grew up in a home where my mom was fat shaming the same women over and over a day, and that's how they made a living. Like, it's just weird to me, but that's it.
You were PayPal begging a few weeks ago.
That's my opinion. Saying very vile things around children, right? I always was in an environment of loving, caring parents. I don't think you have to have I'm sure there's people who work for CPS who don't have children, so they're not qualified to determine if a child is in a good environment.
I mean, they're probably trained to know what to look for to see if there's any issues. This is really weird. I'm sorry. This whole entire thing is weird.
Or they don't have a brain. People don't have a brain and eyes to know, like, logically how somebody should be, you know? I wasn't a child. I don't have children, but I was a child. And I know how I was raised. And I know that I had a loving family. And, you know, my mom didn't provide for me by having a hate channel. That's all. It's called observation, like, you know?
So back in the 80s and 90s, YouTube wasn't a thing until, I think, 2004?
I don't know. I don't know if I'd want kids. I'd probably mess them up. Yeah. Who knows? I just find that obsession weird with, you know, Amber Lynn's, how she... I don't know why multiple live streams have to be... Like, they'll have a Q&A panel, and the majority of the questions for her exes are not about abuse. They're about how they had to wipe her ass.
Hey, and what's the issue? Everyone else's fault that your channel is boring.
You know? Yeah, YouTube lover. And that's all the observation I made, is that, like, bullies are made in the home. Like, if you're a bully adult, your children, like, are prone to that, are going to be prone to that. They're going to grow up thinking it's okay to make fun of fat people. Like, it's just weird. I saw artist renderings of Amber Lynn's washcloth technique. That's what I'm saying. Like, the audience of these people are not, they can't be very, like, very intellectual.
Okay, do you mean intellectually smart, or...
They just have nothing of substance if that's what they like to entertain their time with doing, you know? Like...
coming live to talk about it is so different and quirky.
I don't know. It's dehumanizing. Exactly. It's just... I don't know how people think that's okay, you know? Why do I care? Because I have an opinion about it.
Okay, well, everyone has an opinion about everything that you're complaining about. What's the issue? If you don't like it, don't watch.
And actually, it's not about me, but it is. Because, like, people do the same to me.
No, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. You just want to talk about Amber for money.
Terry. And honestly, like, I empathize with Amber Lynn on that. So, that's why I care. Just because something is not personally done to me doesn't mean that I can't have an opinion on it. Even if someone doesn't agree with Amber. They don't agree with Amber, but they agree with her exes coming on and...
Or she even finishes. Yeah, because for the most part, they've been quiet. I've always wanted to know what's been going on behind the scenes that Amber herself would never tell us. So of course people are interested.
Exposing her period problems and stuff like that? Like, I don't get that logic. I don't. Sorry. I don't find that has anything to do with anything. You know? Exactly, Icarus. It's just gross. It's just stupid.
You know, uploading videos of yourself eating and talking about absolutely nothing for hours on end every single day is just so much substance, right?
I don't know. Anyway, that's my opinion on it. Don't give them ammo. They can say whatever they want. I don't give a crap anymore. And I don't care if I'm the only person in all of Gore World to say that. And I don't care if people don't like me because of it.
Nah, don't worry about that. There's plenty more other things.
I think just, like, having been exposed to so much hate makes me okay with being hated, with not being liked. For whatever reason. I don't care. Do your worst. You know? There's no bait. I started talking about this. I would be, like, horrified if, like, my exes went on panels with my biggest haters, people who profit off of dehumanizing me and revealing how like, all of my private... Like, imagine BB, like, when I had surgery, if he had to help me bathe or whatever, if he went online and started telling these people these things...
Help being bathed after a surgery, I feel like that's probably one of the most normal things anyone could ever experience.
You don't think that mentally, like, does nobody care about her mental health at all? And if you say no, you don't, then you really lack something as a human being. Like, 100%. I don't care how much money you make. Like, do you feel good making money that way? Like, dehumanizing another human being? Like, it's just awful to me. I'm not, like, that's another thing with Cyrax. I don't defend what Cyrax does. I don't even, like, I'm not saying I like Cyrax. I'm just saying at one point, like, the incessant bullying and bullying and bullying and bullying and bullying and bullying just is like, okay, you know? Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it becomes too much. Like, I don't know.
2 out of the 2 examples that she gave has absolutely nothing to do with her.
Whatever. People miss my point all the time. Like...
Yeah, because your points are garbage.
They're 2 different people, exactly, yeah. Amber and... Why are you even comparing Amber and Cyrax anyways? That's so weird.
I can think of one common denominator between the 2.
Like, saying that Amber shouldn't be defended. I'm sorry, but the reactors are all more vile than her. 100%. I don't care what anyone says. No, strawberries, I haven't. False equivalency. Right, YouTube over? See, someone with some intelligence. They don't miss your point. They choose to twist your point. Exactly. And we here, we see through that bullshit.
It's the woman to be half blind.
Okay, so I think he's made some edgy jokes. He used to be a comedian. I don't think he's an animal abuser, and I don't think that he should run away from the internet. I think he's hiding his channel until he maybe loses some of his strikes. I don't know how Yaba actually went on her live stream and actually admitted to calling his wife, which I think is a big fat lie, because you're not going to tell me there's no way in hell, there's no way his wife doesn't know about his channel. So because you can't take somebody talking shit about you, but you can have a whole channel about someone else, so you are that thin-skinned and you claim to be such a big badass bringing your DICK around on these YouTube streets, but when he calls you out for your bullshit, which you're full of it, you're gonna find she stalked his wife to find her, apparently to find her where she works, and to call her and go, yeah, do you know what your husband there is doing on the YouTubes? Can you imagine admitting to calling your mama's wife to try to get him spanked and run off the internet? Like,
Hey, not gonna lie, it is very weird to hear her actually be able to finish a sentence without pausing every 5 seconds.
when he's live streaming, he's literally looking at her. She follows Gorworld. There's no way she doesn't know what he talks about. Like, oh my God. So she lied to her entire audience because there's no way she didn't call. There's no way his wife was like, oh, really? I'm sure if she did call his wife, she would be like, puta, bye. There's no way. And people eat it up. Right, oh, good for you. You call his wife. Poo touchers. There's no way. You don't even have to have half a brain. But if you're a zombie, you're an amoeba on legs. So there's no hope for you. Of course you're going to believe anything she says. They're so unhinged. I think he hit his channel for now. Because people are striking him because they can't handle it. Calling his wife, exactly. And that's not me simping for him because I don't agree with everything he does or says. But he's back. Good. Because I'm sorry, but he deserves to have a platform just like everyone else. He's made of course he's made a lot of enemies. When you call out people and you reveal the truth, they're going to be pissed and they're going to come after you. That's what happens to try to silence you. He has not harmed any cats or dogs. Nope.
You have, though, and you laughed about it.
I don't believe that. But whatever. Prove he has harmed any, Jinger. Prove it. There's no proof. He made a tasteless joke. And Gorlick's video about it is so funny because Gorlick has said worse things. He's defended Michael Vick, actually, his own words. Called him a cool person or something like that. So, I mean, I don't know. I used to really like dark humor. I don't like, animal abuse or anything like that, but I mean, like, I used to watch comedians that have said so much worse. Like, to me, from what I heard, didn't even sound that bad. I was like, okay, like, you're canceling, like, what? Please. Renell, where's my rep that I don't like animals? Are you high on glue? Like, I show nothing but love to animals on my streams. Nothing.
You step on them and laugh at them.
I beg, my husband takes me out regularly to go see animals. I have a spoiled cat. I've had a cat that lived to be 21 years old. And I actually heard people in Gorworld themselves, there was people in Yaba's audience who were like, I have cats that are 21 years old. Yeah, you have to take good care of your pets for them to live to be 21. Oh, really? So that goes for BBJ as well then, I guess, right? So no, cut the bullshit. That's bullshit, plain cheese. He made a tasteless joke, and that's my opinion. I don't think so. It was a witch hunt to shut him up about talking about the Gorworld reactors. That's all it was. Did BBJ pass away? We'll never know, Strawberries, because people who claim to give a shit about BBJ don't care about her now. They don't care. They don't want to see if she's doing all right. They don't want to see any updates or anything like that. So, we'll never know. He's pissed off. Exactly. Because the reactors of Gorworld are very thin-skinned. They're pussies. They're cowards. They can dish it out, but the minute you open their closet and let all those skeletons fall out, they come for you. In the most dirty way. They lie. But whatever. Gia, bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Don't threaten me with a good time. If you want to unsub, unsub. People unsub, and then more people subscribe.
Right, after, you did a sub for sub scam.
It doesn't really affect me at all.
Girl, I would not play with fate like that because your channel's already doing not super great as it is.
I'm not going to be afraid to give my opinion just based on hurting the fifis of a few people. Sorry.
Unless if you have an opinion about that, of course.
My channel's dying? Oh well. Still not going to silence me, Jinger. Sorry. Haters gotta hate, yep. You don't need to announce her departure. Gia, departing at gate C14. Why defend your mama this much? Because that's my belief, Jackie. I don't believe that he, would kill a cat. I think he made some tasteless jokes. That's it. And compared to a lot of Gorworld, he's not as problematic. That's just my opinion. At least he hasn't made abortion jokes or abortion shamed or infertility shamed people, right? But that's okay. Nobody calls that out. No, Judy, I like YouTube. No. You think I'm gonna, like, just because of the hate that I don't like doing it? No, I don't think so.
Been nothing but screaming at random people on the internet now for a good hour at this point. Why keep doing it? This is miserable.
Hell no. There's a famous quote: if you don't want to be hated or criticized, don't say or do anything. I don't want to live that way either. He didn't take racy pics in his kids' bedroom mirrors. Exactly. Yep. Why can't she defend your mama? People defend all these losers that shame Chantal daily. 100%. Yep. That's what I do, Sarah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I haven't done anything. Like, I'm so boring, but so that's why people are forced to, you know.
No, read the room. Other people would rather watch your content through someone else than watching it directly. Read the room.
Talk a million times about what I eat or...
Because that's all of the content that you give us. What are we going to be doing? Like, oh my gosh, wow, like the curtains today look really good. No, the content right now is the food. So people are going to comment on the food.
Stupid things. Whatever. I can't quit giving them content. Like I just said, Jinger, if I open a can of soup, it gets reacted about.
I said before, that is the content that you're giving us. That's not our fault. That's yours.
Yeah, Zeke, because anything I do with in-laws or family or friends is not shared publicly, so... Anymore? People aren't allowed an opinion on your content. Yeah, they can, but it still doesn't make it, like, you know, it's just pathetic at this point. They just repeat this shit over and over. How is that entertaining?
Because that is your content. It's boring, it's repetitive, it's bland, it's without salt, it's without pepper. It is the same thing every single day. That's not our fault. That is yours.
If my content is so boring, how is it entertaining to sit there and be like, look at all the rice she's eating? Especially coming from a fat.
People said that they like it, and so I said, okay, yeah, sure, I'll keep doing it. And here we are.
Like, I don't understand the YouTube Underground support group. They're all fat. Most of them. Have you seen Sally? And they sit there listening to people fat shaming. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, like I said, amoeba on legs. She twisted the can opener too quickly. Like, people are even making charts about things I eat, like when I potentially am traveling.
Because people don't like being lied to. So if they can't document it, why wouldn't they?
Just face the fact that you're fascinating. I guess. I mean, you know, could look at it that way.
You are. I'm not even going to deny that, but oh my god, it's not for any of the reasons that you want.
At this point, it's like a joke. People come in here and like, did you see that somebody made a chart about how many pickles you ate? Just wear the crown. It's very interesting to watch, to be honest. At least they don't say they're pretty. Well, that's good. Yeah, I have 2 donuts left. I'm gonna give them to Sweet Love. Why talk about the Amber Lynn situation? Okay, and the reaction channels do know about their relationship? They know just as much as I do. They're allowed to talk about it. And they wonder why you have to embellish your reasons on your absences from YouTube. Like, it's the entitlement for me.
Okay, well, if you're not going to be telling us, we can come to our own conclusions. You do not get to dictate people.
Like, why are you entitled to that information? Like, if I'm offline, I'm offline. It's not your business, you know?
The woman that has absolutely nothing else going on for her in her life other than the fact that she's married and showing off the fact that she's married and also that she has to eat food online is now magically missing for multiple days in a row. Yeah, that's not suspicious or anything.
Like, well, it's important because then you're lying to us about being married. I literally said I was married on a tourist visa. So what does that prove? Nothing.
Also claimed that he had a house. I'm still waiting for said house.
Well, we Googled it and you can't be married on a tourist visa. Because Milk Tea said so. Milk Tea lives in Oman. She doesn't live in Kuwait.
Okay, so we can't Google anything and we can't rely on anyone that actually has some sort of knowledge about the subject. So we're just supposed to be stupid, I guess.
She didn't get married. Different country. And to that, I literally said that he appealed to the court to get married anyways, and it got approved.
Yeah, so if you add the word loophole and the word married in the same sentence, that's going to set off some red flags, not gonna lie.
And I even made a video of our courthouse wedding and said that we had to show our marriage certificate to move here. I don't know what more proof you need, but they come up with wild theories on where Chantal is and then literally get mad when Chantal doesn't end up where they wanted her to. Lunacy. Exactly. Like, how about you worry about your own life? Like,
oh, since you want me to, her hands, no.
I'm never showing my marriage certificate. Nope. Because the people who matter don't require this kind of weird demands. Do you know what I mean? Right, exactly, I'm 60, it's none of their business. And normal people realize that, you know? They don't need to see personal documents. Exactly.
Any other time Chantal wants to prove a point, oh my god, she is going to be running so fast to show, blood work results. That's fine though.
So, people don't realize that you should be lying on the internet for your own personal privacy. Yeah, or like just withholding information or,
Lying, no, that is so stupid. Why would you do that? No, withholding information, yeah, sure, I can see that.
You want to be popular, now you are, you don't like it. Very J-Lo.
Ooh, that is a good read. Damn.
There's definitely pros and cons. I have a very specific, mentally ill in a bad way group of individuals who just go real life. They are very invasive. That part I don't like about it. Okay. Like, I'm allowed to like some things about being popular.
She really thinks that she's popular. I wish I could bottle this Delulu and just drink it, because if I was this Delulu, I have said it a million times, I would get so much done during the day.
And some things I'm allowed not to like, and have some privacy in my life. That before, I didn't care about being private. I wanted to share as much as I could. And I think that turning that faucet off is just, it's almost been impossible. But when I do, people just make up their own things.
Ah, it's called critical thinking. I hope that helped.
If you don't give anything, they just make it up to keep it going, That's their bread and butter. So they're going to do anything to prevent having to get an actual job, or to make other content.
I know the woman that sits there and just eats food for a living is not talking about, people getting a real job. Ma'am?
Because it won't pay. I get it, I'm not dumb. Yeah, I'm trying to set more boundaries, plain cheeseburger, exactly. I just got a sweet message. Love you forever. I just outed you, babe.
Speaking of, where is he? Right? It's supposed to be Eid, it's celebratory times, and here she is alone, chain smoking, yelling at random people on the internet. Again.
Your heart's still at the villa? I think a lot of people are. And I think a lot of people really, really wish I would go back to Canada, but, it's not it.
I feel the only person that doesn't realize that she is so much happier in Canada and her personality shines through, and she's happy, she's giggly, she can go wherever she wants. Her personality is basically oozing out of her pores is her. She doesn't see it.
Maybe in the future, who knows? Kuwait's immigration laws specifically prohibit marriage violence. I explained that, Gossip Girl. See, people don't listen to what I say. Technically, yeah. But you can also appeal to the courts, like Salah did. And we got married when I was on a tourist visa. So apparently you can.
By your own words, a loophole.
He appealed. He appealed that. We applied. They said no because of tourist visa. Then he appealed that, and it worked. Yeah. So we went to court. I did a video on it. I was very open about it. Yeah. They make it not just for me. I'm sure that they would do it for other people. It depends on the situation. They want you back in Canada for wrong reasons. Exactly. Which I don't have those people in mind because they don't want the best for me, What makes it miserable the way I behave?
No, you're just a ray of sunshine in this live stream.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but stay Delulu. That's fine. I seem miserable? I love when people just assume how I feel without being me.
Guys, honestly, how dare you say that she's in a bad mood right now? That's really rude of you. She seems so happy and just beaming of sunshines and rainbows and positive energy only. Positive energy only.
You're gonna tell me, yeah, right? Jinger seems miserable because you haven't said a single nice thing. So the fact that you're always so negative means you are a miserable person. It's not bribes, it's wasta. Yeah, but this wasn't even really wasta. Because Salah appealed. I honestly don't remember if he knew somebody in the government. But yeah, there's a kind of who you know thing in the Middle East, yeah.
Yeah, that seems totally legal. Yeah, I can't imagine why people would have something to say about that.
An example, when we went to the airport, when we were going to Thailand, there was an employee of a Kuwaiti family who was trying to go back to his home country. And his luggage was over the limit. So he called the Kuwaiti guy over, and the Kuwaiti guy talked to the people at the front, and he ended up getting his luggage passed through. But that's not just wasta, because honestly, and wasta is not a crime. It's completely legal. Nothing illegal has happened for us to be married. So people to just you can't hear? I know what you're talking about, the Canadian thing, yeah. Basically, yeah, because he passed, like, you have to take like, this IELTS test, this English test to go to Canada if you're foreign, so foreigner and all that. So he had all of the right papers and everything if he wanted to apply for himself to go. And plus he, yeah, something with family, but I won't go into it. Because basically people were accusing him of using me to get to Canada.
I believe that 100%.
That's why. It's not, no, his sister's not Canadian.
Oh, really? Well, that's not what you yourself said.
I am educated man. I can apply legally and get my visa very easy for me.
Yeah, you have a sister who's Canadian with a,
Exactly.
yeah, so.
Not only did you say that, but he agreed with you on that.
Not a bribe. WASTA is basically using your contacts to get things done, having connections with the right important sort of people. Exactly. Strict rules now in Canada. Yeah, they've really limited. Exactly, I know. Harder than ever to get in there, I know. But it's not a bribe. It's not like, I'm going to give you money and you must do this for me. Like, it's not something like that. There's no, like, nefarious undertones to it. You know? It's like if somebody's very well respected or dignified, they can have some pull in certain situations. The sister thing is, I think he said his sister's married to a Canadian.
Oh, well, let's replay it one more time.
I am educated man. I can apply legally and get my visa very easy for me.
Yeah, you have a sister who's Canadian with a,
Exactly.
yeah, so. That's what it was.
No, it wasn't. It was not.
For sponsorship, you can have debt. You can have a lot of debt. They don't care about that. But you can't have the status of bankruptcy. That's it. But yeah, it is harder to get into Canada. I don't know. I'm not even, like, we're not even thinking about that right now, honestly.
Off the top of your head, you know exactly the requirements, though? Isn't that a little bit weird?
That's, like, not even a thought. Like, we have other goals, you know? You can prove income other ways, too. But yeah, if you do taxes, yeah. Yeah, you do your taxes, like, yeah, you have to be able to support whoever you sponsor for a certain amount of years, exactly. You don't have to have a certain amount in the bank, no. You just have to be able to show that you have enough to be able to support your bills. Which, Jinger, you don't know how much money I have in the bank, how much money he has.
That tone and facial expressions, I don't think we really have to guess that much.
Or our finances, so. You can easily go on the Canadian government website and look up all that information, what you need.
Wait a minute, hold on, I thought that we weren't going to be Googling stuff though, remember?
They think they know your bank account, exactly.
We have to default to PayPal grift. I have a pretty good idea.
When they thought that that's what he wanted to do was come to Canada, they're like, he's not coming in my country. Like, you have any f***ing pull or any say on immigration. Get a life.
Didn't you want to deport Stabby back to Egypt?
Doinkus. Like, yeah, I don't want to go and spend like $80 on a full tank of gas. We pay like 10 here. Like, things like that, you know? Like, I like paying less in life and getting ahead. Especially when you have debt, it helps. You know? Public transportation, but I just don't know about, like, I've never used it. Salad won't let me go on the bus. I'm a passenger princess.
Here recently, you've been driving yourself everywhere.
No, I'm happy I'm able to drive. You know? It's just, with me, it's, yeah. I don't see why anyone would want, you know, to be with me unless they did love me, because I'm a mess.
Well, being able to benefit off Canada is definitely a plus, if you ask me.
How do we know Chantal isn't scamming Salah? Yeah, I'm totally using him right now. So, no, I'm kidding, I love him. The sponsored meals in order to save some money? Yes and no. Like, I saw other mukbangers do it, and I just thought if they want me to eat a specific meal, they can sponsor it. I don't know. But yeah, it does help, I guess.
What it screams to me, broke.
But it's not like I can't afford food.
Food in general, yes. The fast food that you wanted, questionable, not gonna lie.
I find my life just trying to keep it in order is honestly exhausting enough. That's why I don't have the mental capacity to take on too many new things.
Okay, not gonna lie, she got very, very boring, very, very fast, so I'm going to be jumping around.
I have to get my life in order. Online parasocial relationships are easier. You can be in control and there's no real emotional investment. At least you were cleaning, gee whiz. Yeah, apparently I don't clean.
Don't, otherwise your apartment wouldn't have been that filthy.
I wouldn't be with someone who didn't respect my beezing, right? Yeah, Salah's a beezer too.
Though he has been missing for months at this point via live stream. He's shown up every now and then, but like, it's rare.
Exactly what you want us to do with that info. Like, I could tell you that I couldn't care less. Why are you defending someone who doesn't bathe? What? Why are you obsessed with someone's bathing habits that you don't even know if they do or not? Do you have a camera in her house? Like, I just don't get people who are like, ew, look at that girl. Let's all point our fingers. She doesn't bathe. She free bleeds. Ew. Like, but like, I don't get that. That's not normal behavior. It's so weird.
Pretty sure it was at the point to where Amber had to sit on a mattress at the floor because she was free bleeding.
I think Beck telling such personal details about someone they supposedly love says a lot more about them than Amberlynn.
Are allowed to tell their own story. Sorry.
Bingo! You nailed my thoughts exactly, Susie Homemaker. The fact that nobody cares about that and only sees tea and money is really telling about their personality.
Who was thinking about the money? Chantal is.
She admitted to the bleeding. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Pause Champ. Even if she did,
Tone change whenever it's like, oh god, she actually admitted it.
she was obviously going through a medically hard time. I don't think people have to shame for that. I don't think that exes should be exposing personal details like that. That has nothing to do with abuse, right? You know, it's just like,
Thank you about your opinion that absolutely no one asked for.
it's just awful. And there's no one speaking out about how awful it is, so I'm going to. That's it.
Okay, well then don't cry when other people have opinions about your opinion. This is how this works. And no, that's not just it.
You spilled some pretty bad stuff after you broke up with Slow.
Oh, that's a very good point. Now watch the backpedaling. Watch the backpedaling. It's gonna be great. Oh, she's going to make every excuse under the sun. Every excuse.
I don't think that bad, ECP, and honestly, I spoke about it for an hour and then I didn't talk about it anymore. I didn't make like a 30-part series, right?
No, we're not gonna be doing that. Oh, well, I didn't talk about it as much. No, you still talked about it. That's the whole thing. You still talked about it.
For clout.
Okay, well then why did you go live then?
Yeah. I don't know.
Ah, see, whenever how it's flipped back on her, it's not that big of a deal.
Plus, I think given the circumstances, I was very upset.
Okay, is Beck and Destiny not allowed to, feel upset? I'm sure they do.
I mean, I think Beck's, I don't think that anything that Beck's revealed, she acts like she was completely innocent in the entire relationship. Don't think so.
Of course, garbage supporting garbage.
I'm grossed out. Can we change the convo? Yeah, sure.
Wow, isn't that something? The heat's back on her. Nope, we can change the subject, no problem.
Destiny has dumped animals. Yeah, wasn't there a video for throwing a puppy? Like, people just forget about that, I guess.
Absolutely, no one forgot about that, I promise.
I don't know. I don't care. I'm so over hearing about it. Like,
Yet you won't shut up about it because you have absolutely nothing else going on for you.
What do you mean, Jackie? Like, what situation? I'm not going into that again. I've already talked about that ad nauseum. I find it stupid, completely retarded.
It would not be a crash out without using the R slur. It's not 2004 anymore. Do better.
To compare my situation with the swordfish to Becky having to wipe Amber's ass.
As you see it as your situation being worse, you can talk about it, but no one else can talk about theirs. That's probably the stupidest logic I think I've ever heard.
So I won't even go there. Bye, Isabella. Go get a hobby. See you.
It's the woman that was on live stream for 3 hours straight.
Hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye, Beezers.
Hey, my brain is fried. I tried my best to do as much as I can, but who lord has it been tough. So with that all said, thank you all for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.